Hi, I'm Katrin from the Matura Express team, and today we're going to talk about present tense, so stay tuned. Okay, so I know it's a grammar session today, but it's not going to be boring, so don't close your window. So it's using the present tenses, and this is what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to look at the present tense simple, obviously. We're going to look at present tense, present continuous, present perfect continuous, then useful memory hooks. So I picked out a few for you to just kind of show you what memory hooks are and talk a bit about why they might be useful for you. And then at the end I'm gonna show you or have a call for action using the present tense in talking about media in the present tense. What we're not going to do today is that I'm telling you this is how you build up the present tense, or this is how you build up the present continuous, because you can read that up or look that up in any grammar book. And any grammar book will tell you like exceptions over exceptions and rules over rules. And this is not what we're going to talk about today, but I will show you, or I'm trying to show you, just the pieces of present tense and the present perfect and so on, but on the spot in the exam. So with every review that is here, I'm going to show you in the exam where this might come up, and then show you some examples and tell you why this might be the tense, or this is the tense that you will have to use there, okay? It's going to be clear in a second. So then let's start with the first one, with the present simple. So you obviously use it for general truths and facts, like I am a woman, the world is not flat, or 2 + 2 = 4. So any general sentence, any general fact you want to state is present tense. And you notice here, the world is not flat, or 2 + 2 = 4, the he, she, it, the little s thingy, okay? You've heard it all in school before. Then regular and habitual events, like I stream every Wednesday, or she always drinks coffee in bed. So if it's something you do like every Wednesday, every Tuesday, every Thursday, every year, so on, it's present tense. And then it's verbs expressing feelings or mental process. That is also simple present, like open the window, I feel sick, or that tastes bitter. I hear you went to the rugby match. That's very interesting, and so on. So it's really like feel, taste, hear, that's all present tense, feelings or mental processes. Like we have one major exception, and this is also something you have to consider for your exams. So, like this. Okay, so think versus thinking. So just compare the two sentences. It's, I think he's lost a bit of weight actually. So you stand in a room, or let's say you're at a party, and then an old friend of yours walks in, and then you tell your friend, oh, see, Robert is there. I think he's lost a bit of weight. Yeah, it's more like a statement. Whereas the second sentence, oh, I'm thinking more like, maybe the middle of July. It's like more, you're in the process, yeah? You're not finished thinking yet. You have to, you take some time thinking about it. It's a really hard or tough decision. So I'm thinking maybe yes, could be, okay? So this is actually when you ask a question in the discussion or in the follow-up discussion, and then you really have to think about it and consider like pros and cons. Then you would say, I'm thinking maybe you're right, or maybe I kind of disagree. Yeah, that would go in that direction of the second, of the thinking. Okay, but let's get right into it. I took an exam from a former stream. So this is the oral exam. It's about media, impact of mass media. And here's the thing. When you talk in the introduction, when you ask questions, you talk about your career, then you would use the present tense in stating your name, introducing your job. My name is Katrin. I work as a sales clerk. Easy as that. That's always present tense, okay? Just to state the general facts and truths. And here is the task, give a brief presentation to the audience about mass media. And definition of mass media is obviously present tense because a definition is facts, general truth. So, oh, there's a mistake. It's not the mass media, but just mass media is a collection of media technologies that reach a large audience via mass communication. There's no interpretation here, just general facts. So basic, present simple, okay? Different forms of mass media, it's the same thing. Oh, I'm very tall. Okay, like this. So different forms is general truths, general facts. So there are different types of mass media. TV and radio both belong to this category. Yeah, can you see? Okay, so anywhere you have to give a definition, talk about different forms, just to state something, or there you use the present tense, okay? Easy as that. No magic here. Okay. Present continuous. It's the thing with the ing. Is used to refer to events which are in progress or happening at the moment of speaking. As for example, I am streaming this right now, obviously. Or repeated events in temporary contexts. Sounds a bit big, but it's only this. I am currently working at a hospital, okay? It's not that you're in the hospital right now and sorting like pills or something. It's just that you want to express that you're still working there, that you started at some point, but that you're still working there, you keep on working there, okay? So it's more of the process and not that you're doing this like in this moment. So these two are a bit different, but I'll show you an example. It's not very complicated. And then the process of change. For instance, the internet used to be very slow, but it's improving. Okay? So where does this come in the exam? I will show you. So, for instance, in the introduction about your career, repeated events, like I showed you in the example. I am currently working for a lawyer, but I'm thinking of changing jobs. Yeah? So this is, it's a repeated event because you currently work there, you go there every Monday, Tuesday, whatsoever. It's repeated over and over again. And then I'm thinking of changing jobs, and this is the example from before, that you're still in the process of thinking about it. You haven't made up your mind yet. It's like, you're not sure. It has its disadvantages and advantages. So you're still in it, okay? And then here's the thing, the positive impact of mass media. You could use the present continuous when you talk about the process of change. The reception of social media has been critical, but it is improving. These are probably the only two cases where you would have to use the present continuous, because actually in an exam, nobody wants to do what you're doing right now. Nobody wants to know what you're doing right now because they can see that you're speaking and taking an exam. So you wouldn't have to state that. So these are like repeated events. When you talk about your career, that's it. When you have to use that. present continuous, and if you have something in the task like impacts or how something has changed, then the process of change, the present continuous, might come in very handy. Okay? Yes. Good. So, we're halfway through already. So, present perfect, and this is the tense where it's important that you want to state something that has started in the past and is moving until now, okay? Or the other way around, like the arrow, okay? So, during the last year, I have worked on several different projects, okay? Year has ended, you have finished those projects. It was a process in the past, okay? And then I have learned quite a lot so far. So maybe from the beginning of your training up until now, I have learned quite a lot so far, okay? So all this way, that's a present perfect. Actually, my color coding is wrong here. Do you see the mistake? Like the orange thing during the last year, that's kind of like the signal thing. And the pinky words are the verbs. Ah, doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, sorry, wrong direction. There you go. So, and here's the thing. In the present perfect, you will have sometimes since and for. And you have to know when to use which. So since is always when you have a specific point, that's why the point is there, a point in the past, like 1968 or October 23rd or last Wednesday, okay? Like specific dates. And for is like for 3 months, for 3 years, for 3 hours. It's always a duration. Yeah, time span. Okay. And this is where you will use it in the exam. Here you are. Okay. So you might use it when you ask about your career up until now. I have worked for 3 different companies up until now. When they ask you about your career, where you started, what was after that, you see, I have worked for 3 different companies up until now. I have learned a lot so far, and then you go on talking about what you're currently doing, okay? Here again, the different forms of mass media. There has been quite a lot of development. So it's from the past up until now, there has been quite a lot of development in the different forms. There have been new forms, developed, evolved, whatever. Okay. And then also with a positive impact. Like this. So change from past till now. So communication has become so much easier with the spread of cell phones, for instance. Okay, so this is always when you talk about a change that from the past until now, then present perfect. Okay. Here, and the fourth thing, it's negative impact. The importance of outer appearance has increased, and that's immensely. Okay, so again, it's a change from past till now. The increase of the importance of outer appearance. I think that should be quite clear. Okay. Present perfect continuous. Yes, every present tense has its continuous. And it's events that started in the past and they're still continuing, yeah? Even further than now. Kind of like in the future, okay. I have been working for this company for 3 years. You're not thinking of quitting. You're not thinking of changing jobs. you will continue working there. I have been working for this company for 3 years. Okay? I have been studying for this exam the last 3 weeks. So you're kind of like, when you're in the exam room and then your teacher comes in and then he says, oh, we're gonna change the date for the exam, it's next week. And then he said, but I've been studying for this exam the last 3 weeks. Okay? So it has an impact beyond now. That's basically really it, what you need from the present perfect for your exams. Here, oral exam, media, impact, mass media. Well, again, questions about your career. From the past till now and further, I have been working for this company since my first day of training. And then you might work there until you go, until you retire or something. Then also negative impacts. Okay. From the past till now and further, studies show that violent behavior among teenagers have been increasing. Okay? That's basically it for that part. Yeah, so what you could do is, if you see that stream, then maybe you take a screenshot of the exam and then really write, or if you have an old exam, write in what I have like highlighted where you have to use the different tenses, okay? And it's only the present tense. Memory hooks. So these can be really easy if you want to remember when to use which tense, but it's really more of a personal thing. So you have to find your own memory hook. You can make them up. They don't have to make like sense in that it has to be like a proper sentence. If you find a thing then that makes you remember when to use present tense, when to use present continuous, it's fine. Yeah, nobody cares. It's just for you so that you know. So what I found here, I searched through the internet. In German, it's like he, she, it, das S muss mit. In English, it's he, she, it, no, S is sh. You know what I'm saying, yeah? Oder, you can say, no, you can say that word in a live stream. Okay. Oder, was macht ihr alle Tage ist simple present, keine Frage. Or ever, never yet, so far, present perfect ist doch klar. So you kind of have to find your own thing. Like maybe you think that won't help me at all, then leave it. But if you think it will help, then maybe find your own way, or also go through the internet and then you'll find tons and tons and tons of different stuff. Okay? Yes. That's basically it for the different tenses. If you have any questions, leave a comment and we'll get back to it next week. And this is your call for action for the next week. Take a look at the exam, and the exam is the following. Here. So, it's about, wait. Fake news in social media, okay? So, same thing, you will be asked some questions about your career, future plans, it's always the same. And then getting news from social media. You're a researcher in the field of social media. You have been invited to a congress for modern journalism and been asked to hold a talk for interested journalists on how people receive news. Give a brief talk to the audience about receiving news in social media. Talk about how people receive news nowadays, how the habit of receiving news has changed, the role of news on social media platforms, full stop. And then task 2, impact of fake news. And then just go through the task. After your talk, you open the discussion up to questions about the impact of fake news from your audience. And then also the role play. And here's the link. So maybe take a screenshot of this and then hang on, and then do this. Decide where you will use the simple present, present tense continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. So just the same what I did in this presentation, highlight it and just think of a few examples what you could say. Big point should be your career, and then go through the task and see, okay, where do I have to state general facts and truth? Where do I have to take about the change of process? Where do I have to take about repeated events? And so on, and then highlight it and maybe find 1 or 2 examples for it so that you're ready for next week. And then I will do the same here and show you that, and then you can just ask your questions if you have any, why I did that, you did something different, and how do we get together on that. Okay, so tell me, and obviously always know why you do that. So tell me why you chose simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. And if you have like a super cracker memory hook, also post that in the comment. That's it, actually. Yes.